Hi everyone, God bless. What the difference is between three-dimensional thinking to five-dimensional thinking. Thinking in 3D means one can only think in right or wrong. They can only see their perspective and no one else's. This means someone has to be right and someone has to be wrong every time. This is called duality. They are fighting from within themselves, thinking with either the left or the right hemispheres of the mind. The right side of the mind expresses creative tasks and is associated with the feminine polarity of the body and includes art, creativity, color, daydreaming, expressing emotions, feelings, visualization, holistic thinking, imagination, intuition, music, nonverbal cues, reading emotions, recognizing faces, and rhythm. The left side of the mind expresses analytical thinking and is associated with the masculine polarity of the body and includes critical thinking, facts, language, linear thinking, logic, mathematics, numbers, reasoning, sequencing, thinking in words. They can only think with part of each side of the mind at any given time, not allowing them to connect all of their brain functions at once. The decision they make is based on a belief and not on proof. Thinking in 4D means one can see both sides of the perspective. They can see a different perspective by applying an experiment and data to both. This means someone can see both right and wrong sides of the perspective and can choose the best decision for themselves. They can think with both left and right hemispheres of the mind, analyzing duality within themselves. The decision they make is based on proof and experimentation. Thinking in 5D means one can see all sides of the perspective. They can see every possible angle of a perspective by applying data, experience, experimentation, spiritual discernment, and wisdom. They can think with their entire mind all at once, removing right and wrong from the perspective. This is called neuroplasticity, which is the rewiring of the neurons in the brain. This means someone can see every possible scenario of the perspective and they understand all sides are neither right nor wrong. The decision they make is based on understanding and knowing that right and wrong don't exist. They are one and the same. You cannot have one without the other. If one would take right and wrong and put them together, they would cancel each other out and become neutral. They would neither be right nor wrong. Just as if one would take a positive particle and a negative particle and collide them together, they would cancel each other's forces out and it would become a neutron. If a child is playing and they start running around and someone would yell at them saying, "Don't do that. You shouldn't do that. It's wrong." Then a few minutes later, they're running around again. Do you think they're doing it on purpose? Or do you think it's because to them what they're doing is right and fun, so how could something so much fun be so wrong? They can't understand what they are doing is wrong to the one yelling at them because they only see what they know from their perspective. But is what they're doing right or wrong? Absolutely not. It's only annoying or negative to the person yelling at them, and it's enjoyable or positive to the one experiencing it. It doesn't make it right or wrong because it's wrong in the eyes of one and it's right in the eyes of another. This is understanding and knowing that a right plus a wrong make a whole. If we base something on being right or wrong, we are separating or dividing the wholeness of something into two different categories. This means some will believe that the right is wrong and others will believe that the wrong is right. So if you have two groups of people, one is thinking with the left side of the mind and they believe they're right and the rest are wrong. The other group is thinking with the right side of the mind and they believe they're right and the others are wrong. Does their belief make either of them correct? Absolutely not. It makes them two divided groups of people who each have half of the whole. So this means every belief is only a piece of the whole story. If any one person believes what they know as the right answer to the question, how can they know for sure if they don't even know what group or side of the mind they're thinking from? If there are multiple groups across the world that all think individually, believing they're right and everyone else is wrong, which group does everyone fall in? The ones who believe everyone else is wrong except them? Or the ones who believe that they are right and everyone else is wrong? If any one person believes there is a right and a wrong, they only have a piece of the knowledge they themselves believe in. To remove duality, we must understand there is no right or wrong. It just is. Every aspect of our childhood comes from the right hemisphere of the mind. Every aspect of our adult life comes from the left hemisphere of the mind. Who actually remembers the carefree life of a child without it being conditioned to thinking with the left hemisphere of the mind? This should make everybody wonder why they were forced to grow up so fast with conditioned doctrines to thinking logically, forcing math, history, and business onto children in school, and why they wanted to get rid of all the extracurricular activities like music, art, and drama. Jesus says something so remarkable about this, and it has been overlooked for centuries and not understood because everyone only thinks from the left hemisphere of the mind, and it is so amazing and beautiful. Listen to what this says. And said, "Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Verily I say unto you, whosoever shall not receive the kingdom of God as a little child, he shall not enter therein." We must be converted, which means having been adapted to be suitable for a new purpose or cause to change in form, character, or function. We must receive, which from Latin recipere, regain, or take back our childhood, or we will not enter into the kingdom of heaven. The Bible references over and over again about how important the right side or right hand is. God, Jesus, and the angels also reference by the right side or the right hand. The woman is also referenced as the right side, but the most important part is balancing both evenly. And there appeared unto him an angel of the Lord standing on the right side of the altar of incense, and 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right side of the bowl, and the other upon the left side thereof. The Lord is your keeper, the Lord is your shade on your right hand. To restrain her is to restrain the wind, or to grasp oil in one's right hand. Then will I also acknowledge to you that your own right hand can save you. Turn not to the right hand nor to the left, remove thy feet from evil. We must take back our childlike characteristics and learn how to fully integrate the right hemisphere of the mind back into our life. We possess a knowledge greater than anyone can imagine. I believe one of the reasons it took us so long is no one would be able to control their powers and ability in the fight to save humanity. Imagine a kid in an electronics store, or a woman in a jewelry store, or a man in an auto store, and they have the power to take anything they want without limitations. Who could resist? Without being able to think with our entire mind, we would be animals amongst the crowd. This wisdom comes from within. This knowledge can't be taught, it must be experienced. One must put themselves to the test. They must understand every aspect of their entire being from the inside out. We must first learn how to love ourselves, care for ourselves, and treat ourselves with the utmost respect that we want from others. We must balance both right and left hemispheres of the mind to understand who we really are, allowing our heart, body, and mind to merge with our spirit within. We are learning everything about who we are, and this is how we achieve enlightenment. Spiritual discernment, hidden wisdom, and ancient teachings comes directly from thinking with the heart, not the mind. Thank you. Good luck, and God bless. Namaste.